Welcome to the Abundance Hack Show, where we are inspiring you to tap into your power to manifest the happiness, success, and fulfillment that you desire. I am your host, Niajae, the Upper Limit Coach. I am here to dismantle your limiting beliefs and remove the blocks so you can confidently live your life's purpose, because life is meant to be abundant. Hey M&Ms, thank you for listening or watching the Abundance Hack podcast. I am joined by Monet Hambrick, and I am so excited to have her here. She is the founder of The Traveling Child. So I have been following her for a really long time, and she has two beautiful daughters that she travels the world with. So we are going to dive in, but before we get into her story, I want to ask you, Monet, what does abundance mean to you?
So to me, abundance means just, I guess, feeling fulfilled in life and having things that you're proud of. And whether that's an abundance of love or respect or whatever it is, just being overpouring with, I guess, whatever success means to you. So for me, being, having that abundance of success and love and just having the ability to be myself and do what I'm passionate about. That's what it means to me.
I love it. I love it. So I am super duper excited about this because one of the biggest limiting beliefs that I hear is travel now, because once you have kids, you're not going to be able to travel anymore. And so this is why I'm like so excited just to dismantle this limiting belief that you can't travel once you have kids. So tell everyone your story. Like I know a little bit, but tell the audience your story.
Yeah, so I mean, I basically heard the same exact thing. I loved to travel before I got pregnant with my oldest daughter, Jordan. I studied abroad in China. I had gotten a scholarship. I went to Botswana for 5 weeks. I'm first generation American from Jamaican parents, so going to Jamaica like every single summer. I have family in England, so visiting England, all these places. And then I remember when I got pregnant, literally before people even said congratulations to me, they were like, you're not going to be able to travel anymore. And I don't know why that is like the first thing that people say, or people say, yeah, travel now while you're single, before you get married, all of these things. I'm a firm believer in continuing to be the same person that you were before. And not necessarily same person, because of course, as you get older, things change. As you become a mom, as you become a wife, you have other responsibilities. But that doesn't mean that you can't do the things that you love to do before. They may be harder. They may take more work to be able to accomplish those things. But that doesn't mean that you can't enjoy the same things that you did before. And it was something that was really important to me to, I guess, not lose myself in motherhood, to not lose myself in being a wife. So I basically ignored what people said. When my daughter was 6 weeks, we took our first trip. We lived in New York at the time, so we came to Florida. My parents lived here, and I have tons of family that lives in Florida. So we did that. And it was my husband's birthday, so we actually came to Florida, spent a few days, and dropped my daughter off with my parents. And we went to Bahamas for 2 nights to celebrate my husband's birthday. And that was like the whole time I was like, can we just FaceTime her and things like that? And obviously at that age, like she's not worried about FaceTime. But I think diving into those things like early on was what really like helped me to know that this is okay and like we can do this as a family. Then when she was 15 months old, we went to Italy and Greece, and I was actually 16 weeks pregnant with Kennedy at that point. So we went to Italy for a week and then went on a cruise for a 7-day Greek Isles cruise. I had tons of family with me, but at that point, Jordan did not go to anyone else besides me. So even having a ton of people meant absolutely nothing. I remember one day I was actually in the shower and she was screaming forever until I got out with my friend. But we had so much fun, and she had so much fun, and just like seeing the different sites in Italy, having the different foods, like having those experiences is something that we'll never forget. And of course, at 15 months, is she remembering those things? No, but I remember how much fun we had on that trip and how much fun she had on the cruise and just putting her feet in the water and all those different aspects. And from then it just continued to go on. And then we were going to Jamaica and we were going to Colombia and we were going to Barbados. And even though Jordan's first trip wasn't until, until she was like 6 months, Kennedy, she went on her first trip at 10 weeks. I was on maternity leave and I was like, I didn't take advantage of my maternity leave last time. Like, I'm going to take advantage of it this time. And I went to Colombia when she was 10 weeks old. And now they've been to, I think like 23 countries and
Oh my
quite a
God.
few states. So just whether it's me traveling with my kids, me traveling just with my husband, me traveling with my girlfriends, or me traveling with, by myself, travel is just something that's always been a part of my life. And I guess I just refuse to let having kids or being married stop me from doing that. And the reason why I started my Instagram at first was because of a friend. She came over when I was on maternity leave. It was like the week before we were going to Colombia. And she's like, you should really start an Instagram. And I was like, no, that's stupid. And she's like, no, I think like people would be, especially parents that think the same thing, or they've been told that life is over, your travel life is over. And I was like, yeah, but what am I going to just post pictures of like, and be like, look at us, we're traveling. Ooh, look at me,
Yes.
look at me. And I was just like, that's dumb. And she's like, no, I think she's like, even for me, I'm not a parent. And she's like, I love to travel. And I think it's so powerful seeing you, first with Jordan and now going to be with Kennedy, just like living your life. And then I thought about it and I was like, okay, I guess like she has a little point. But at first I actually was reposting other people's families. It wasn't even me. And I was just like showing. And then I was like, well, this is kind of, to me, I wasn't into it because it wasn't personal. So it just felt like I was doing something, but didn't have the passion behind it. So started doing with us, but I was like, I wanted it to be more than just posting pictures. So came with the tips. It came with the affordability tips on posting flight deals. And then my website came along a few months later, and really just empowering parents to know that you can still travel with kids, and providing them with tips to make it easier, things that we learned along the way, so you wouldn't have to make the same mistakes that my husband and I did on our first trips. So that's really, I guess, how it all started.
Oh,
Sorry,
I
that was a bit
love
long.
it. No worries. I love it. So I have so many questions. First, okay, tell everyone how old Jordan and Kennedy is now.
Okay, so Jordan is 4 and Kennedy is 3. Jordan will be 5 in 2 weeks. And Kennedy
Awesome.
just turned 3. So yeah.
And so you said Jordan has been to 23 countries?
Yeah, like both of them together combined. Jordan has been to some where Kennedy hasn't, and Kennedy has been to a few where Jordan hasn't. So I would say probably they've each, though, probably been to at least like 18 or 19.
That is absolutely amazing. There's like adults that haven't even done that. And so how many countries have you been to yourself?
I don't know. Oh, I think like 40
Oh my
or
God.
something.
That is
I'm not really
amazing.
that much of a country counter, so I'm not 100% sure, but it's somewhere around that.
Awesome. And then how long have you been married?
6 years.
Nice. And did you meet traveling or did you meet like in
No,
your
we
hometown?
met in college. So we met my freshman year of college. So we've been together 12 years.
Mm,
We got married on our
that's
6-year
amazing.
anniversary. Yeah.
Wow. And did he like to travel before meeting you?
Yep. He had traveled growing up with his family as well. His aunt is a really big traveler, and she would take him. She took him to Costa Rica. She took him to Ghana. We actually studied abroad together in China. We were in the
Oh,
same
nice.
program in school, which is how we met in one of our classes. So yes, we traveled. He traveled as well before.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. Okay, so let's get into just the traveling with kids. I think one of the biggest hurdles is probably finances. So how do you finance? Because I see pictures, it's all four of you. So I'm sure that gets expensive. So how do you, because I'm sure that's what people want to know. How do you
Yeah.
finance the travel?
So for one, we only travel on flight deals. And I think that's the biggest thing, especially not even just with families, it's individuals. A lot of times people are so stuck on going to a particular destination, going to that destination on specific dates. And when you limit yourself to not being flexible, you're not able to travel inexpensively. So travel is not expensive, but convenient travel is expensive. And some people will be like, yeah, but it's easier because your kids aren't in school, but that's not necessarily true. Jordan is in school and we don't like to take her out that much. She's in VPK. It's just VPK, but at the same point, she's going to kindergarten next year, and just getting her used to the habit of like, this is a structure and I have to respect it. We're okay with taking her out of school up to 2 weeks to travel, but don't, want to be missing like 4 months out of the school year or anything like that. There are travel deals over the summer. And when I talk about flexibility, for instance, my husband's birthday a year and a half ago, for his 30th birthday, he's always wanted to go to Amsterdam. There ended up being a flight deal on Delta for $400 round trip, Miami to Amsterdam.
Nice.
His birthday is July 13th. The deal started August 4th. On July 13th, the same plane tickets were $1,300 per person. So do you want to like get really into your birthday and you have to celebrate on your birthday, or we could literally get all of our flights for what it will cost for one person to fly there and just go 2 weeks later. So things like that, just being like flexible. Also, just for instance, for spring break, just last month, it was my daughter's spring break, and there was a flight deal to Brazil. We paid $340 round trip per person for our tickets. And then I was upset because the next week they had another deal and it ended up being $310. And I was like, I want this difference. But there are deals during spring break. There are deals over the summer. There are deals over Thanksgiving and Christmas break. I just got a flight deal. We're going for Jordan's Thanksgiving break because I already have the school calendar for next year. She'll miss 2 days of school, but it's 2 days during the week of Thanksgiving. They have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off. So honestly, I don't think they'll be doing that much on Monday and Tuesday. And yeah, it was $430 from Miami to Marrakesh, Morocco. So we're going to Morocco for her Thanksgiving break. And again, there are deals during those times. So we only book flight deals. We just look up flight deals. You can there are flight deals that are for specific dates and specific countries. And then there are websites like Skyscanner that I absolutely love, where if you do have a specific date that you have to travel, but you don't care where you go, you could put the dates in, you put your home airport, and then you select everywhere, and it will tell you the cheapest places to go during those dates. Nice. Or if you have a specific destination that you want to go to and you're flexible about the dates, you put your home airport, the airport of the destination you want to go to, and then it will tell you the cheapest time to go to that place.
And what's that website again?
Skyscanner.
Okay, Skyscanner. Okay,
yes,
I will put that in the show notes.
Yes, so all about just being flexible. So that's really how we afford to travel. In addition to that, because it's not just the flight deals. Of course, you have to have the money to pay for the flight deals. We have a separate account for travel, a travel savings account that we put X amount of dollars into every single month. That way, when a flight deal does come up, we can look at that account and say, oh yes, we have the money. We can pay for this up front. We use our credit card to pay for it, our travel credit card. That way we get the points and the miles that can get us free flights or free hotels in the future. But we have the cash, so we paid off the full balance and never ever pay interest. Because if you're getting a credit card that has a great sign up bonus or it offers these points and you're getting charged interest, you're really not benefiting from the perks of the card. We have significantly cut down expenses. Travel is something that we love to do and we prioritize it, which means my husband brings lunch to work every single day. We rarely eat out when we're at home. We have a $100 per month eating out budget set aside besides groceries. So, we're like, well, when we go on vacation, we'd rather eat out there and try the cuisine of the local city or country that we're visiting. So finding crock pot meals to make or a meal prepping for the week ends up saving us a lot. And then again, those savings goes into our travel savings account. We don't have cable. We have Netflix free. We have T-Mobile. It comes free with that. And our Hulu, me, my parents, and my brother split our Hulu account. So that's what we do. So we have Hulu and Netflix, and that's our entertainment. And we have internet, so no cable. And cutting the cable, we save $100 per month from when we used to have cable. And we have a Fire Stick. So all those things, it's minimal expense and just gives us more money to travel. And then, there's other things. I don't get my hair and nails done like I used to. You know, for special occasions, I'll do that. But other than that, I do my hair and the girls' hair ourselves. So just cutting back on those things and using those for those experiences.
I love it. I love it. And I mean, even just something so simple as cable, if you think about $100 a month, that's $1,200. And you already said you can get, a flight for the whole family for that,
Exactly.
So yeah, prioritizing. I love, love, love it. So, so what do you and your husband do for work? Because I'm sure people want to know.
Yes. So my husband works in sales and marketing. So he used to work in the sports industry. He recently left the sports industry and works for a company called Travel Zoo. I'm not sure if you're familiar with them. They're kind of like Groupon. So he works there. And as of 2 weeks ago, I am now full-time with the Traveling Child.
Nice.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Exciting.
I
Oh,
know
wow.
it's like nerve-wracking, but very exciting as well. But before that, I was working in recruiting. So I recruited architects and interior designers, and that was my job before.
Very cool. So you've been able to monetize this and make this a career.
Yes.
So, and so I know, like, with podcasting and blogging and vlogs and stuff, there are people that do it as just a hobby, but you have been able to turn this into an actual career.
Yes. So it's a full business. I have it's S Corp and all these things. And at first it was just a hobby and it was something I was really passionate about. So I put in a lot of hours and time. And then my cousin was actually over here on over the weekend and we were talking about this, and I was like, when I started this, I didn't even know people made money on blogs. Like, I didn't know that was a thing until I started making, and I was like, wait, and then I was like, wait, people do this, like, that's it? I did not understand like that was possible at all. But to be able to do something that you're really passionate about, I mean, I didn't go to school for recruiting. That's not what my dream in life was. Now, had you asked me 3 years ago if this would be what I'd be doing full time, I would have been like, you're crazy. But it's something that I'm so passionate about and love doing so much. And I'm so happy that I could turn my passion into a business and be able to provide for my family with that.
Yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh my goodness. So when did you start it? How long ago?
3 years ago. So I started April 2016.
Wow.
I pretty much left my job on the exact 3-year mark.
That is amazing. That is amazing. I love it so much. So I'm going to put pictures in the video. So if you are listening on iTunes, you definitely want to tune into the video so you can see all the pictures of her beautiful family. Love, love, love it. Are you using crystals to accelerate your manifestation? Every month, Abundance Box is sending you new authentic crystals, therapeutic grade essential oils, and more goodies to help you cleanse energy, raise your vibrations, and tap into abundance, along with affirmations and a supportive community. For more information, go to abundancehack.com/box. And remember, life is meant to be abundant. So I have a question that I wondered about when I see you in different countries with the girls, because they're kind of young. Do you have to get them vaccinated? And are you ever worried about the vaccinations?
So we have not gotten vaccinated for any of the countries that we visited so far.
Really?
Yes. So I always go on the CDC and see what they recommend or what is required. Typically, the recommendations are vaccine. We do vaccine. So all of them, typically most of them are the ones that they get anyway. So they have those. And then the recommended ones, for instance, when we went to Kenya, they recommended typhoid. But I always go to our pediatrician, let her know where we're going. She asks us some questions and then getting her opinion based on if it's really needed or not. For typhoid, she's like, if you don't plan on eating street food and you guys are not adventurous eaters, it's really not necessary. So we didn't get it because we were like, we just won't eat street food. And, because while we do vaccine, I do try to limit the excessive stuff that we do put in our bodies. So just didn't get that. We did take malaria pills while we were there. But that was the only thing that we did, but we didn't get any vaccines for Thailand, for Brazil, for Costa Rica, for Colombia, so far, no vaccines.
And you haven't had any problems being sick or the girls getting sick?
No problems at all.
Wow.
It's really just about, some of them, as I said, they're just recommendations. So it also depends on what part of the country that you're going to. For most people, if you're a tourist, you're not going into the areas of the country that are more susceptible to getting those diseases. You're in like the bigger cities and things like that. Like in Thailand, we're in Chiang Mai, we're in Phuket, we're in Bangkok. They're big cities, so they're not maybe the small towns in the middle of in nowhere in that country where it's more prevalent for those diseases. So I think it's just all about education and doing your research, but then also getting multiple opinions, whether that's your primary, doctor, then your kid's pediatrician and things like that, and really just determining. But so far we haven't gotten any, and we haven't gotten sick at all.
And do you drink like bottled water when you go and not like the local water? Okay.
Yes, we do drink bottled water. Like if we're going to Mexico, we're drinking bottled water. Like, yes. So that is one thing. Yeah, we drink bottled water.
Awesome. So what would you say would be your biggest traveling tip for a family?
Just the biggest. Okay, so I'm sorry, I'm gonna actually be more specific. So do you mean like as far as like flying or planning or like when you're there, or
well, I know you share a lot of tips. I know you share a lot of tips on your Instagram. So I would just recommend all of the followers go follow her. I love seeing the pictures. But I don't know, your best top traveling tip. And it could be pertaining to anything. I know you're probably going through the Rolodex in your mind.
I'm like, oh my God, there's so many tips. Well, I would say for like flights, just making sure that you have like activity packs packed for the kids, because what you don't want are angry children. And I would actually say you don't want hangry children either. So like I have snacks on snacks on snacks all the time. I pack like one of the carry-on bags, literally like a backpack, like one of the kids' backpack is just filled with snacks for the plane, because they're like, okay, it's time to eat. And I'm like, no, it's not. Like they haven't served food. They're not serving snacks. So like having snacks. Also when we're out and about, having snacks too, because I always find that the kids get hungry before us adults get hungry. And you don't want to waste your time sitting down eating all day long. So like bringing snacks for them. We're packing like a sandwich that can hold them off until like we have lunch or dinner. Also ends up saving a lot of money. Another way to save money, we do a lot of Airbnb over hotels, because we are able to cook or save some money with that. And typically they end up being cheaper than hotels. There's some places that we prefer hotels, like the Caribbean. If we're going to the beach, like I don't want to be cleaning up sand in the Airbnb all day long when we come back. So we like hotels for that. But I would say staying in Airbnbs helps us save money. And just remembering that don't think about all the things that could go wrong. Just think about all the things that could go right. Kids are going to be kids, no matter where they are.
Yeah.
If you can survive the grocery store with children, you can survive anything else, because I swear to God, these kids are like in the grocery store. Oh, can we get this? Oh, can we get this? Can we get this? Can we get this? Like, no, we can get what is on my list, and that is it. Okay. And they're going to be kids. They are going to get into arguments with each other if they're siblings. Yeah. If they're younger, they're going to have tantrums sometimes, like they do at home. Like, don't stress yourself over those things. Like, still a tantrum on the beach in Phuket is better than one in your house.
Yeah.
Just remember that. Okay. So just like be patient and just, enjoy the moments and take in all the memories that you're creating with your family. Yeah, there's so many tips. I could go on for like 6 hours just on tips. So
what's the longest flight you've been on with the girls?
Probably Kenya, because we flew from Miami we flew from Miami to Frankfurt. Then we had a 7-hour layover, and then from Frankfurt to Nairobi. So we were pretty much flying for like 21 hours straight.
Wow.
Well, with layover, like 21 hours with flight times and layovers between Kenya and Thailand. Thailand might have been a little bit longer. Those are our two longest. And our flight from, I want to say from Miami to Doha, which is where we had our layover when we went to Thailand, I think that flight was 14 hours straight. So.
Wow. It's hard for me as an adult to fly that long. So just, I'd imagine your patience level, and then, the girls obviously being probably well behaved, because, that's that's a long time to sit still.
Mm-hmm. So I think the younger you start them, the more they get used to it. They know what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, on all these international flights, they have TVs and movies, and they have specific kids kids areas on, for the movie section. And I think when we went to Thailand, I'm pretty sure Jordan watched Trolls 8 times in a row, and she was content. She was content with that. And we packed different activities and things like that. But at the end of the day, most times, like, as much as you want to say, like, you try to limit screen time at home, like on a 14-hour flight, watch as much TV as you want to, like whatever gets us all through this. So just, also being realistic about those things and lessening, maybe your strictness on those. And then I always walk with lollipops in my pocketbook, because then if like you get really crazy, I just give you a lollipop, because realistically, we're all on the plane and no one wants to hear, whether you have kids or not, no one really wants to hear a screaming child. So if I have to give you a lollipop, then I have to give you a lollipop. Being real.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love it. Whatever works. So where's been your favorite place to travel with your family?
Okay, so I'm just gonna give you top 5, because there's no way that I can name one.
Okay.
So it would be Kenya, Costa Rica, our
Mm.
RV trip, Brazil, and then probably a tie between Thailand and Cuba.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And Costa Rica is one of my favorite places to travel. I love, love, love it. Yeah. So I know that you do some freelance writing as well for
Yes.
the Points Guy, which I looked it up because I wasn't familiar with it. So that's a travel site.
Yes.
And then Essence, which I'm sure everyone's familiar with Essence. So that's awesome.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's exciting, especially like, a magazine that you have like clearly known about your entire life. And then to be like writing for them, like when I got the email and they're like, we came across you, will you? And I was like, wait, what? You want me to write for you? And the same thing with the Points Guy. I mean, the Points Guy in travel is huge. It's like one of the biggest travel websites. So like to be able to say that I contribute to both of those is just, I still like pinch myself every time when a new article is posted.
And this all came from The Traveling Child.
Yep, all came from The Traveling Child.
Oh my God, I freaking love it so much.
All came, like I never would have imagined, like honestly, if you asked me, like I would tell you I hate writing, like all these things, like never in my life would I imagine that I would have a blog, which I clearly write a lot on, and then be freelance writing. Like I have one of my stories was published yesterday on the Points Guy, and I had a story due yesterday for Essence, and I have another story due for them today, and it's just, I just can't believe it.
Wow, so amazing. Oh my goodness, I love it. Everyone has to go follow, like, and your daughter, I believe it's Jordan. Jordan's the older one, right?
Yes.
There's some pictures where I'm just like, oh, I freaking love her. You can tell she has a little sassiness to her. Just, oh my God, so cute. So cute.
Thank you.
All right, so I don't want to wrap it up, but I know I have to, but because I still have so many questions. But if anyone has questions, definitely comment. So if we need to do a follow-up, I am happy to
no problem.
But I want to leave the audience with your top 3 tips for living an abundant life. Because I mean, I am like, your life to me is like, just, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Thank you.
So many things that people don't think are possible, traveling with kids. And another belief that I feel like, limiting belief that I feel like is very prevalent is you can't have it all. But in my opinion, you have it all. You have a husband, you have the travel, you have the kids, you have the freaking dream job. Like you literally have manifested, I think, a dream life. So what would be your tips for someone else living an abundant life?
I would say that if you are passionate about something, do it. Give it your all, but realize it doesn't come overnight. It's hard work. You're going to want to quit many times. You're going to think you are wasting your time. There are multiple times at the beginning I was like, no one is reading my blog. No one is reading it. Like, no one cares. No one's reading it. I could have just given up. I could have just said, it's not working out. But really, the only difference between the people that make it and the people that don't is the people that make it don't quit. And I'm a firm believer in that, because I, am friends with other people that are doing the same thing or want to do the same thing. And I see so many times things pop up and then it's like you're engaging with everything and then all of a sudden they're gone. And for whatever reason, they decided that it wasn't for them, which is fine. But I think that just continuing on the path that you want yourself to be on and doing everything that you can to do that is what will get you there. Because I was very unhappy in my last job. I was extremely unhappy. And when I realized, oh, you can make a living off of blogging. And then I was like, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm passionate about. So every single moment, when I tell you, as a grown woman, there were days when I was going to work and maybe the night before we had ordered pizza. So I didn't have leftovers to bring to work. I would wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and make chicken and rice or pasta. So me and my husband would not have to purchase lunch so we could afford to do the things that we wanted to do. I remember one day I just ended up making a peanut butter sandwich. And some people, like, I remember I was sitting out at lunch working on my blog because every single moment of free time, that's what I would do. And someone was like, you're eating a peanut butter sandwich. And I was like, yep, didn't want to spend, $20 at the cafeteria because that $20 can go to renewing my domain for my website. It can go to something else. It can go to this, it can go to that. And it's a lot about sacrifice. And if you're not willing to make those sacrifices, not that you won't ever be successful, but it might take you longer. My entire lunch break I spent working on my blog. I stopped driving to work and I started taking the commuter bus, which is for professionals. And that way I can work on my blog on my commute to work and on my commute home. So you can do whatever you want to do if you have a dream. And also, like, I went to Georgetown University and got my master's. I do not use it. Don't think that just because you went to school for something that means that you can't do something else. I have no formal education in writing, but here I am writing for Essence and for the Points Guy and all these opportunities. So don't think because you don't have formal education or you don't have this or you don't have that you can't do that. Surround yourself with people that are like-minded and have similar goals as you, because you will continuously push each other to be the best version of yourself that you can. On Wednesdays at my house, we have like these meetings with fellow entrepreneurs. And on Wednesdays, we hash out our ideas. We talk about our goals. We hold each other accountable for things. We brainstorm with ways that we can, like, new ideas for our businesses, how we can also collaborate with one another. When I tell you the people, like one of the people, I met her on the internet. Like, she runs this page, Black Love page on Instagram. We were just like ended up talking and then somehow realized she actually was in the community right next door to me. Super random. We met for brunch and then she started coming over for these meetings too. And then, like, her and my friend, Andre Jones, who is at Dre Vinci Works, he is a videographer. And since she does Black Love, there's a lot of Black Love page. There's a lot of couples that want to work with her for their weddings. And now they're collaborating because he's a videographer and a photographer. So it's like just surrounding yourself with people that are on the same path as you to hold yourself accountability means so much. And that will help you and them succeed. And people that you can lean on. And just remember that you're not in this by yourself. So I think those would be my tips for getting to where you want to be, and just never giving up and making sure that what you're doing, you're actually passionate about and you're having fun on the journey to getting where you want to be.
Oh, I love it so much. Thank you so much. You are a true inspiration. And I hope that the audience enjoyed this as much as I did, because I know I loved it.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. So again, tell people where they can find you, because I know I'll post your Instagram, but what is your website, or is there any other site you want to send people?
So our website is www.thetravelingchild.co. And then Instagram is The Traveling Child. Facebook is also The Traveling Child. I'm not as active on there as Instagram, but I know some people don't have Instagram. I do post on Facebook. And that's pretty much it. My Twitter is kind of non-existent.
Awesome. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. And I will definitely be watching all of your travels, and everyone go follow her. It's truly an inspiration, and her daughters are so adorable.
Thank you so
And I
much.
love seeing the family. Actually, there was one photo, I think your husband was like hanging off of a cliff or something like that.
Yes, with my
Oh
daughter,
my
with my
God.
younger daughter, Kennedy. Yes, that was in Brazil. Oh my God, that photo was like, I was like, some people didn't read the caption. And thankfully, I didn't have to say anything because, oh my God, these people in the comments were like, did you not read the caption? What she said? They're like, if you actually follow her, you know that she loves her family. She would never put her child in danger. I was like, oh my God, the internet. Oh my God, the internet is funny. The internet is hilarious. But yes, I was weary about posting the photo, and I thought that with my caption, it would explain things, but most people got it, but still,
It
it
was
was so
epic.
fun.
It was epic.
Yes.
So.
We had so much fun taking those pictures. Oh my God, that place, if anyone's going to Brazil, like go to Pedra do Telegrafo. It is amazing.
Oh my goodness. I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And until next time, guys, love and light. Thank you for tuning in to the Abundance Hack Show. I would love to hear from you. Leave your comments and questions, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of our yummy episodes. Every time you leave a 5-star rating or review, I do my happy dance.